All right, greetings, YouTube fans, the Spin followers, everybody on Last Call Trivia, and of course, those who know me as Daily Vinyl. Welcome to this week's edition of Music Trivia. And while music is something that's sort of shared, in the world of music, people share songs. And if you know what I'm talking about, then you know all about covers. And some covers are, I guess, better than the original. They take the reins and they rake the song in and they make them their own. And this week, that's what we're talking about on The Spin. We're talking about covers. So I hope you've got your pens, your papers, and your pause fingers ready, because we're coming at you with 5 questions, 1 bonus, and the stumper, just like we do every week here on The Spin. So let's dive in. Question number 1. Many people have known Elvis to sing Blue Suede Shoes. Yes, as a Sun Records startup, it was a song that he brought to critical fame, but it was not originally recorded or sang by him. Who was the original artist of the Blue Suede Shoes? All right, question number 2. Similar to that, there's a song that we all know by one Jimi Hendrix called All Along the Watchtower. I guess if you're Jimmy, it's this way. But not originally a Jimi Hendrix song. Another huge classical rock influence, singer-songwriter, if you will, goes by a name that's not his real name, but who was the original author, the original musician, to make the track All Along the Watchtower? Okay. Number 3. Originally recorded by the one and only Little Richard as a 12-bar blues track, it has been since covered by everyone from the Beatles to Led Zeppelin. A song about a woman of a very particular stature. What song am I talking about? What song am I talking about that was recorded by Little Richard, 12-bar blues, about a woman of a very particular stature? All right, let's do number 4. If you've seen The Bodyguard in the 90s, you know that Whitney Houston had a hell of a set of pipes, and her song, I Will Always Love You, is pretty much a national treasure. However, not originally sung by Whitney. Who was the original author and singing performer of the song, I Will Always Love You? All right, here we go. Question number 5. Popularized in the 90s by a band that still sort of has its own headway in music here and there, although they are somewhat of a defunct project at the moment. The song Hard to Handle was originally recorded by Otis Redding. Otis Redding, who popularized that song in the 90s with a much more, I guess, aggressive rock and roll version. Who recorded Hard to Handle, the Otis Redding song, and made it popular in the 90s. All right, if you are a Last Call fan, if you go out and play trivia with us, you know we do bonus questions. They all come down to numerical answers. And the job is to get as close to the number as possible, and we give out extra points when you play with us live. However, you do not have to get exactly there. Now, today's bonus question, I want to talk to you about the Beatles, probably one of the most recorded and covered bands of all time. They've probably been the most influential band of all time. But of all their covers, the song Yesterday is, I guess, in certain circles, known to be covered in the upwards of 2,200 times, maybe. These are hypotheticals. But talking about authentically recorded and trackable numbers here, how many different versions by different artists other than the Beatles of the song Yesterday are out there in the world of music? How many covers of Yesterday are available for you to find? All right, we've done the bonus. We've done our 5 questions. Now, the Daily Vinyl Stumper. Yes, if you don't know what that is, it is the Daily Vinyl question. I think it's a little bit harder. I'm going to say this week isn't as hard as it's been in the past, but it is sort of niche-y. You have to know what I'm talking about. You see my picture right there. Ryan Adams is my boy. He's my favorite. So this week, my stumper has to do with Ryan Adams. He's known for his covers, probably most notably for his cover of Oasis's Wonderwall. Beautiful. It's better than the original, if you ask me. However, a few years back, he covered an album in its entirety, an album that was originally recorded by a country starlet turned pop singer. Who is that pop singer, and what is that album called, with the title being A Year? Yes, Ryan Adams covered an album in its entirety. This is your stumper. Who was the original album by, and what is that album called? The title is A Year. All right, we've got all of our questions out there. You've got your papers ready. Let's do the answers. All right, here we go. Question number 1. I asked who originally sang Blue Suede Shoes. It was not Elvis. It was Carl Perkins. Yes, also of Sun Records fame. Carl Perkins, the original singing songwriter of the Blue Suede Shoes. Yes, I gotta get some blue suede shoes. That'd be sweet. All right, question number 2. We talked about left-handed guitarist Jimi Hendrix and his cover of All Along the Watchtower, which notably went on to be basically the best version of that song ever made, although you can find a pretty good one by Pearl Jam. Who was the original artist of that song? Bob Dylan. Yes, Bob Dylan. He even said himself, that's not my song anymore, as soon as he heard the Hendrix version, which I think is a nice tip of the hat. All right. Question number 3. I asked what 12-bar blues song, originally by Little Richard, has been covered again and again and again, features a woman of a particular stature. That would be one only, the Long Tall Sally. Yes, we've heard Long Tall Sally. You know, she's ducked back in the alley. Long Tall Sally, come on. There's like 7,500 covers of that song. That's definitely a grand exaggeration, but Long Tall Sally has been recorded many, many times. Okay, number 4. Who sang I Will Always Love You long before Whitney Houston did for The Bodyguard? Well, Dolly Parton. Yes, Dolly Parton for Porter Wagoner, who she had gone by the way of and said, you know what, we're not going to make music together anymore. That's a whole crazy story, but I still and always will love you. Aw, how endearing. Okay, question number 5. I asked about Otis Redding's track, Hard to Handle. What was posthumously? Homoniously? I don't know. He had passed away before that version he made actually came out. But 22 years later, in 1990, the Black Crowes recovered it, rebranded it, and made it a huge success on their debut album, and it is a great cover. I love Hard to Handle by the Black Crowes. It is a very good one. Okay, we're going to do our bonus. We were talking about the Beatles, a song that even John Lennon says some of the lyrics make sense, some of them don't, although it has been recorded and covered more times than anybody knows. The track Yesterday, All My Troubles Seem. Yes, that song. How many times can you find it in recorded capacities covered by another artist? Well, if you said 186, you'd be right. At least that's what I got. We got 186. You can go out there and get 186 other artists recording of Yesterday. That is nuts. Anyhow, Daily Vinyl Stumper, it's your last one. We talked about Ryan Adams. That's my boy right there. It was his birthday a couple days back. Ryan Adams covered whose album? A Year's Name in its entirety. Country star gone pop starlet. Well, look what you made me do. It was Taylor Swift's 1989. And oddly as it is, it was on the charts while Ryan's full covers was on the charts. So the entire album was on the charts twice by 2 different artists. I don't know if that's ever happened before. Cool piece of fan fact there. A little trivia for you within the trivia space. So, how'd you do? Did you get them all right? Were these too easy? Were they too hard? How do you feel about covers in general? What are some of your favorite covers? Link them below. I want to watch them. I love looking for covers. Some interesting facts, some covers that you don't know, like Ace of Base, originally Tina Turner song, something like that. There's a ton of them out there. So many songs that are covers you don't even realize. A lot of interesting things. Just like this video, we're on every Thursday giving you music trivia, 5 questions. Please subscribe. Move over to the Last Call Trivia channel if you are with me here on Daily Vinyl, because next week is the last week we're going to be on Daily Vinyl. We're going to go exclusive to Last Call Trivia starting week 13. It's going to be a whole new thing, a whole new intro, and I'm excited for it. Excited for you to follow me over there, so please do. Also look for both Daily Vinyl and Last Call Trivia on Instagram, on Facebook, on the tweets, all those places. Just search us. You'll find us. We're there. Be a pal. Let us know how you did, and guess what? We'll talk to you next week.